Welcome back to UNX Fast Forward, your daily dose for everything ninja. I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Mike Salenzi.
And we are coming off the third qualifier for the second major event at Ninja Warehouse, where on the women's side, taking first place, Chanel Arenas, followed by Sandy Zimmerman, and third qualifying spot going to Sierra Heflin.
That's right. And on the men's side, first place, Caden Lebsack. Second place, Zach Scholes. And third place, Sam Folsom.
Right, and those are our 6 qualifiers, not including Olivia Colasano and Jake Murray, who are in our top 3. And we actually have Jake Murray joining us in the studio, taking first place overall. What's up, Jake?
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. This is the second
much.
time, Jake, you're joining us, going through your course preview. Is this just like, no big deal, just another top run, and we're going to go through on a UNX?
Well, let's be honest. I'm just here because you kidnapped my pet koala Peter and said I couldn't have him back unless I did the interview. So let's just get this over with.
That's not public information, Jake.
You weren't supposed to say that, Jake. Yeah.
It's not
Right, but no, I mean, great performance, man. I mean, one question we had before you even go into your run was, what was it like competing with, did you have any nerves at all, or what did that affect you already knowing you were qualified for the second major?
Yeah, I mean, to me, I take every competition serious, and this one, since I'd qualified already, was more just to keep the blade sharp, as I like to say. But yeah, I always feel pressure and nerves a little bit.
Well, the blade was sharp.
It was awesome run.
Yeah.
It was so impressive.
But let's check it out. We're going to hear from Jake on everything about his course run right now.
That's my name. That's UNX. It's me at the starting line. I'm wearing a tank top. My hair's pulled back. And here we go. I was trying to take a relaxed approach. I guess that's like my standard approach when running a course if it's long and like an endurance course. Try to stay as relaxed and conserve as much energy as possible. I was lucky enough to see a lot of studs like Jesse Lucero, Caden Lebsack, and Adam Rail run the course, just to name a few. So I had an idea of what kind of pace I needed to put up. Very climber-friendly course, so it favored me, I felt. Felt pretty good at this point. Wasn't breathing too hard. Yeah, this was the biggest question mark for me, was this huge wheel, because it's so heavy, and I'm not the heaviest guy, so wasn't really sure how it was going to work. Not the most intuitive obstacle for me, at least. But this throw was pretty fun. Slow-mo. And I saved it. That dismount was a little tricky, actually. And then I thought this was the starting pad, so I tried starting from the... Psych. This obstacle is really fun, and again, very climber friendly. Whoop. The drum hopper's awesome. Don't train it, but it's pretty straightforward. Fairly easy too, but it had this little twist at the end where you had to pop up and grab that bar, which was a sweet variation. And I knew when I got to this point that I felt pretty good and I was on good pace, so I took a little bit of a break before starting, and I knew as long as my coordination was good, I was going to get through this obstacle, which it seemed to be. Whoop, woo! Touch the rope to complete. I love it. And the final obstacle. This was really fun. You could skip from the get-go, which I did. what do you know? Another climber-friendly obstacle. I think I somersaulted right here. Yep. That's it. That's it. Fun course.
And that's it. That's a first place run. I mean, that was so much fun to watch and hear your thoughts on there. You said it a lot, climber-friendly course. But I mean, that's kind of what we expect from Carson Voiles. Isn't that what you expected going to Ninja Warehouse?
Yeah, I've been to some of his comps before a few years ago, a couple at least, and he always throws in a vertical limit or a cliffhanger. And as a climber, I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I climb a little bit. I know, Salenzi, you climb a lot more than I do. But, I mean, drum hoppers in there, it's so interesting. You don't get to train it, but...
Jake looked right at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this course was meant for him. He really didn't even look tired.
Yeah, so that's another question. You didn't really take much rest at all. When you got to the last obstacle, I know you'd already qualified. So would you have approached the course different at all, even like the last obstacle or so? Would you have taken more rest if there was more on the line for you?
Oh man, yeah. I felt like I knew where I was at time-wise, even though I didn't know exactly. But I figured because I didn't take much break, I would have been okay. And I like to think that, like I said, I take the same approach even if there's not a lot on the line and it's not a serious competition. So yeah, I feel like I would have used that same approach.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah,
it looked
definitely
like
push the limits.
Yeah, push the limits, especially how close were you
Appreciate it.
on that dismount in the last obstacle? Saw you gritting your teeth a little bit.
As far as pump, I wasn't too close to pump, but for some reason, I could have taken an extra swing, but I knew it would get me there, albeit just barely. But yeah, no, as far as pump goes, I think I was at like maybe a 7 out of 10. It wasn't too bad.
That's crazy because there are only two finishers,
Yeah.
and he's only in a 7 out of 10. Well,
I think I grit my teeth. I think I grit my teeth no matter what. If you watch my face, I grimace a lot.
Yeah, I just
Mid-course.
remember seeing the camera kind of missed it, but his thumb came around and he really pinched onto that cliffhanger in order to make the shade of the dismount.
yeah. Yeah, well,
Yeah, that's something I observed.
yeah, I mean,
Observed some
amazing
other people
run.
do, so I was like,
First place.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
And no surprise, I mean, you're sitting in second place in the season standings right now, and we're getting ready for the second major. Is your shift changing at all for the second
Right.
major, or are you just full steam ahead?
yeah, no, my training is geared around this next major actually, so I'm kind of revving up. And like I said, that last comp, it was to keep the blade sharp. It was a performance evaluation to see how my training's going, and it's going pretty well. So
Did you
I'm really
pass?
excited to see where I'll be at for the next major.
He got a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. No, that's awesome, man. Well, congrats again. We'll see you at the second major, and thanks again for joining us, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, boys.
I mean, can't say enough about him. I mean, that's amazing to me. There's so many athletes that if they're already qualified, they will attack it differently.
Right.
And it says a lot about him and his focus that when he's there, even if it's, nothing's on the line or everything's on the line, he attacks it the same exact way.
Yeah, and you can see that in the way he runs the course.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well-
Yeah.
I mean, it's Jake Murray, right? First place finish, and he's sitting second place in the season. I'm expecting big things out of him at the second major, December 14th. It's going to be here on UNX now, live. You get to
Watch
see Jake.
it live.
Yeah, amongst a lot of other competitors, including all the 6 that qualified from Ninja Warehouse. But now we're getting ready for our last qualifier for that major, Warrior Jungle up in Wisconsin. And we're going to get 6 more athletes.
Drew Knopp, he's going to set up a great course. I know
You know it.
Yeah.
You know he is. He always does. I'm really excited. And tomorrow, we're going to get into the course preview and athlete preview. So join us on UNX Fast Forward. Until then, I'm Ethan Swanson.
And I'm Mike Salenzi.
We'll see you guys next time.